Amazing Ferraris. It's an 812, a new Ferrari that came out. And I said, man, I want that car. I said, oh man, it's spoken for. One of your guys got it. I said, who are you talking about? I said, it's Patrick Patterson's 812 Ferrari. I said, no, that's Patrick Patterson? And so I'm a fan of Patrick Patterson regardless because of his car.
They know you by first name at the Ferrari dealership. I take it.
Mr. McGetty.
Mr. McGetty, respect for you as Zubats wheels inside, can't get it to go. Nuggets with one final shot here in the frame. Morris ahead of the horn. No. So after leading by as many as 10 in this one, the Nuggets will actually take a 5-point lead, outscoring the Clippers by 14 in the frame. After the final frame after this.
Has been special this game. How many assists he has?
6 assists, Corey.
6 assists. Look at the unselfish play by Kawhi Leonard. The board man, the claw, just carving out space, shooting that mid-range jump shot. But just in limited minutes, in 11 minutes, it's been special.
He's a fun guy for sure. I should have said Mr. McGetty. He had 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. So the Clippers, again, looking for win number 2 in the preseason. All that really matters, and I mean this for both sides, just everybody able to walk off the floor. Clippers have gotten some nice reps and whistle offensive foul to start the 4th quarter for the Clippers. And you see Patterson out there. How about this? Michael Porter Jr. right there in your screen. A lottery pick last year, missed all of last season, has had 2 back surgeries, only played 3 games in college. Having said that, future's very bright for this young man. The Nuggets are very bullish on his future.
You know what? Social media is unbelievable. And Michael Porter Jr. over social media in high school was unbelievable. And you know what? Sometimes you have injuries, but this is the time for Michael Porter Jr. to take off. And they said that he's been playing tremendously, unbelievable in training camp for the Denver Nuggets.
Well, he was the #1 ranked player in high school.
Yes.
Went to Missouri, played only 3 games. Now this is just his 2nd action. He came in late in the game against the Blazers a couple of nights ago in the 2nd half, doing the same thing here for Mike Malone.
I read an article where Michael Porter Jr. said he's been preparing for this his entire life. The way he eats, the way he takes care of his body, as he finishes with his nice dunk. But I'm always happy for kids who battle injuries and come back to play.
The Clippers are now down by 9. That's a 19-point turnaround since the 2nd quarter. Derek Walton Jr. offline on the 3. And here's Monty Morris again. Great pass from Plumlee. I'm telling you, he is one of the more underrated facets of this Denver Nuggets squad. That guy right there. He really torched the Clippers a few years ago when he was with the Blazers. And he's a big component, I think, for the Nuggets' success this year. Hey, how about Patrick Patterson knocking in a 3? 2nd bucket for Patrick Patterson. Monty Morris in jail, but able to get it to Grant. Nice move by Grant. Nice rebound by Zubats.
You know what's so cool about that? Because Patrick Patterson and Jeremy Grant played on the same team. And so you could just totally tell that Patterson knows exactly what Jeremy Grant is doing on the offensive end.
Beasley with a finish in transition. Yes, Grant and Patterson in Oklahoma City a year ago. Doc Rivers jumps off the bench. Clippers are down 10 here in the 4th quarter. Clippers in their 3rd preseason game. Hey, how about this? Another great season of Clippers basketball is here. Great tickets for some of the hottest games are still available, but they are going fast. Visit Clippers.com for tickets today. Here is a fact, Clipper Nation. Every single game will be a sellout. Look at your calendar, check your office parties, check your family vacations. You need to find some time to carve out to come here, and you need to do it now. Because this team, this arena will be sold out every single night. That is a fun fact brought to you by me to you. It's a PSA. Get it done, folks. It's happening, and it starts October 22nd. Clippers play host to the LA Lakers.
Did we get any free tickets for our family?
I'm not sure that I'm going to be let into the building, let alone my boys.
You're going to be the play-by-play. Come on.
I was told that there are televisions in my house. If I wanted to call in, I could call them.
I wonder how much the tickets are this season down on the court.
It is worth every cent this year, Corey McGetty. Think about it.
Priceless
Think about
tickets.
your time with the Clippers, and my beginning time with the Clippers, and where they are now. These fans right here, by the way, the most patient, deserving. They're waiting for that guy to come in and chip in. This is going to be one heck of a, I'll say year. I think it's going to go beyond this year. I think this organization has built sustainable success going forward. As Amir Coffey comes away with a steal to the rim, whistle foul.
It's more about the loyalty with the Clipper fans.
100%.
They're very loyal. And, you know, they stuck with every season. Good teams, bad teams. And it's good to see that the Clippers are in a great position. The culture has changed. Management has changed. And, you know, look at this, right? Position they can be a championship team later on.
And now a quick word from Buick.
Elevate your driving experience with the diverse lineup of Buick's SUVs.
The point remains, every game will be sold out this year, and every game, more to the point of just being here, will be an event-like kind of vibe. And it's not just because the Clippers are terrific. And that man has helped. That guy has been unbelievable. Oh, he'll be leading the cheers, but think about it this way. The West is amazing. The league has never been better. Every night is going to be an epic battle. And Staples Center is going to be the mecca of basketball this year, not only with the Clippers, but the Lakers too.
But I love basketball with a passion, and what the NBA has done. And like you said, every single team will have some type of superstar that fans will get a chance to watch. Just for us here, we have at least 3. You want to name them all?
Pat Beverly,
code names: PG,
Lou Williams,
the Claw,
those
and
guys
the Underground
are good too,
Goat. I'm just going to give you the nicknames.
Well, think about it though. Back in your day, the promotions for the games were for everyone else coming to Staples Center, and now it is these guys here on the marquee.
Oh man,
it's just a great time to be a Clipper. It really is.
I remember the times when there would be games and you would swear that, you know, it's a game and it seems like it's a practice because it's not any fans in the arena.
I always heard you talking from here. You know, I was here when you played. I could always hear you say, hey, give me the ball. I was open. I could hear that from way up here. I heard you complaining.
Just complaining?
A little bit.
You know,
hey, Sam, I was open.
You know what he said? Hey, 5-0, I got to get you the ball. I got to get you the ball. 5-0.
Harkless steamrolls. And is going to be handed the citation. Nice play there by Jeremy Grant.
You know, it's so cool to look at the coaching staff. You have Doc Rivers, who won a championship. You have Tyrone Lue, who's won a championship as a player and a coach. And Sam Cassell, who's won a championship, multiple championships. Now, if I'm a player on that bench, I'm talking to every single one of those guys. I want to pick their brain. I'm like, let me suck it out of you. Just to get that information from this coaching staff.
You've got Rex Kalamian there on your right. Helped an assistant coach get to the NBA Finals with Oklahoma City. There's Ty Lue, huge addition to the coaching staff. I mean, it really is. It's a big staff, and everyone has a massive role, and their input is felt all the way over.
And all of their roles matter. All of them. If it's 10 coaches, all of their roles. Even Natalie Nakazi on the bench. She does a phenomenal job of just preparation from a film standpoint, getting guys ready before and after, stand on the court to get shooting with, even saying, like, all of these coaches matter. And this is the reason why Kawhi Leonard and Paul George wanted to come. They wanted to change the culture. Steve Ballmer changed the culture here.
Vanderbilt, then Porter taps it in. Largest lead of the game for Denver.
Just very valuable minutes.
Oh, nice pass from Motley inside to Mo Harkless.
Very valuable minutes for a few of the G League guys that possibly working with Brian Adams, who's the head coach.
Brian will enter his second year with Agua Caliente. Vanderbilt misses. Pass a little too tall for a streaking Jonathan Motley. PJ Dozier, some line changes here.
It's going to be a fun season to watch the Clippers playing because of, you just look at the offensive firepower. I mean, Paul George averaged 28 points last year, career numbers in every single category. And you remember back in USAB when he had that horrific injury. I mean, it just shows the work ethic of Paul George coming back in last season 28, and now, I mean, he could change everything here.
Well, he had 2 bum shoulders late in the season. Statistically, you would be hard-pressed to understand that.
Look at this resume.
Well, we haven't seen him and talked enough about him here. Look at that.
That's what I like. 4-time all-defense. 4-time. Career 28 points a game.
And then kind of behind the curtain, and this is somewhat coaches talk, that always a perennial leader in deflections, in steals.
Yes.
It's just the attention to the defense that he pays. In my conversation with him earlier in the week, you heard it. He loves to play both sides of the ball, just like Kawhi Leonard likes to play both sides of the ball. These are, in my opinion, and I'm a little biased, the best two-way players in the game. There are a few you can talk about. The Clippers have the best two-way players in the league, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Just think about it. Before even Paul George had that injury, he was by far the best two-way player in the game. Had the injury, and then all of a sudden the emergence of Kawhi Leonard and Klay Thompson.
Trying to figure out if this is a 3 or a 2. It's a 3.
You know what I like too, Brian, with the new rules? You get a challenge. That's pretty cool, right?
So I really feel like they should have some kind of big button or something.
You know, like a red button right by the scores table, and you can press it for the challenge.
It's in a trial phase right now, and we saw it in Hawaii, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I know that old school people, and I'll tell you what, it's tough for the officials because they're calling these things in real time, and then you get to slow them down and see that there was. We actually had a challenge here that Doc said this was not a 3. So what'll happen here is that the Clippers will lose the timeout. Had Doc won that challenge, they would keep the timeout.
Oh, you know what? Are you looking down? So the green lights are for the challenge.
Interesting.
Okay.
I feel like, in my mind, I have like remember the show Pressure Luck?
Yes.
Like a kind of a button like that where they slam it down. And like a big, big to-do happens. You have to do it 30 seconds after the whistle. And here you go. Look at the.
You know what? Doc Rivers should have one of those buttons in his suit jacket and pull it out and run on the court and press the button. What do you think?
In the suit?
In the suit. Pull it out of the suit like you Superman.
I wanted like a podium. It was an unsuccessful challenge. Clippers will lose their challenge. You didn't get the shot there, but Pat Beverly was egging on Doc Rivers to challenge before the game.
It out.
Before the game against the Rockets, Doc Rivers and Mike D'Antoni, head coach of the Rockets, were joking about who was going to have the first challenge. That's Doc's first challenge. Here's what I do want. I would love the league to do this in defense of the officials, because I think in the long run it will play out this way. They should have on their front page, the splash page for the NBA, how many challenges have been and how many times the officials were correct. The officials take a lot of heat.
Take a lot of heat.
And I'm telling you now, and they'll frustrate everybody, including me, that these guys are the best in the world. It's not even close.
I agree. But I really think that the challenge should be one in the first half and one in the second half. I believe that. I think so. Because regardless, I mean, the first half matters as much as the second half, So
I hear you, but
you don't agree.
and it's not because I don't think the sanctity of the game is in jeopardy or anything like that. It's the movement and the pace of the game that is disruptive. I want the calls to be right. I don't want 5-minute breaks every game, twice a half. We're trying to speed these games up, not slow them down. Nice play there by Hernan Gomez, and the Nuggets continue to pile it on. After trailing by 10 of the first half, they now lead by 15.
He's thinking about if it was a foul from one of your star players, and now he has 3 fouls in that first half.
You got to use it wisely.
I agree.
Aaron pass. Walton Jr. comes away with a loose ball. Nice pass inside to Palmer Jr., who lays it in, counted on a foul.
I watched him before the game. Sorry, I watched him before the game, working extremely hard, really picking Kawhi Leonard's brain and just playing in there 5-on-5 as he scores the basket. But he has a lot of talent. He plays confident. Any young player, you want to play confident.
And he gets up and down in the three-point play. I was going to say, going back to our challenge conversation, the league, I think, the last couple of years has done such a great job of speeding up that game. Gone are the hack-a-shack where the fouls away from the ball. They're eliminating that. They're eliminating all the timeouts or the time it takes, the 20-second timeouts. I hear you, Corey. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Spaghetti. I like the idea of getting it right. I think the viewer would rather see a game that is a little faster pace. But who knows? This is a trial. They maybe come back and they say, we heard you, Mr. Spaghetti. We're going to add 2 challenges for the game. One in the first half and one in the second half. Porter inside and then knocks it in with 2 hands.
No back issues on that play.
You're rooting for him all the time. You never want to see injury, especially with such a young talent. But he's been patient. That's one thing that Mike Malone has talked about. The patience that he has had all of last year and now coming into camp this year.
It's the hardest thing, is to have patience when you have an injury. And you can't, you have to sit and wait. Like it's nothing else that you can do as a player, but you need to stay mentally tough in that process.
And Paul George is looking beyond October.
Yes.
Like beyond November. He's thinking getting himself, I'm not saying he's not playing in November, but he's thinking April, May, possibly June. Nice drive by Walton Jr. and he leaves it in. Timeout, Denver. Nuggets out in front by a dozen. Clippers had a very solid first half and looking to cross the finish line here in the...
Now it's time for the game summary brought to you by Kia. And right away from the start, Kawhi Leonard really established why he's one of the best players in the world. Early on with 7 points and 6 assists for his team. And late for the Denver Nuggets, they really pushed it out in transition. You look at from the points in the paint, 56 points in the paint for the Denver Nuggets, 42 for the Clippers, and second chance opportunities for Denver, 17-6, really changing in the second half, right?
Another thing is interesting. The Clippers had 19 turnovers. The Nuggets scored 27 points off those turnovers. Clippers actually forced more giveaways, but didn't score as many points. If you score a point per possession or per turnover, you're doing very well. Clippers were less than that. 4:18 to play here. Clippers, a couple of days off, will take on Melbourne on Sunday afternoon, a 12:30 tip-off. Then they head north of the border to take on the Dallas Mavericks in Vancouver. Stay tuned for the post-game show with Jeannie Zalasko, brought to you by Nissan. They will have lots to talk about. First 2.5 quarters of this game, very solid for the Clippers. This is the preseason. Again, the priority to me is just everybody on both sides walks off on their own power and is ready to practice tomorrow.
And from looking at it from the coach's lens, it's more about the rebounding and the second chance opportunities.
Vanderbilt bothered at the rim by Palmer Jr. Larrier with a step back long two. Lots of time on the clock there. Porter comes away with the rebound. It's going to be interesting with Porter Jr. here and trying to crack the rotation. This is a Denver Nugget Nugget squad that is rich with talent. I'm not saying he's not a gifted player at all, but boy, they had a great rotation, second of the West last year, terrific defensively, top 10 offensively. Now Mike Malone's going to have to figure out a way if they're going to be able to use him.
And the best thing for Michael Porter Jr. is to really establish himself on the defensive end. And you know, he's 6'9", so you have this size that you can use, and he can shoot the basketball. But coaches, from a rookie standpoint, they're really focusing in on their defense and their attitude if they're not playing in games. I really like Steve Kabengele as well. He really stretch the floor, plays with great intensity.
He is a worker. He has gone to every quote-unquote optional practice during the training camp sessions and been there every minute that it has been available. And a huge personality as well. And you had that great interview with them over the summer. There's a great connection between Kabengele and Terrence Mann with their days in Florida State.
Hey, can you believe it? With their interview, and they knew exactly like the foods that each of them ate and the music. You know, like it was crazy. Like, so you guys roommates? It's unbelievable. But both Terrence and Fee are genuine, really good guys.
Fee, a first-round pick of Brooklyn before the Clippers snatched it. Porter Jr. takes it to the house and jams it in. Tough minutes to judge Porter. We know how talented he is. 10 points, 4 rebounds. It's been kind of in a lackluster period for the Clippers. And another giveaway for the Clippers. They're 22nd.
Great learning experience for this third unit that's out on the floor, about playing with great pace, taking care of the basketball, and defending during the game.
Grantham ahead to Walton Jr. First to the bucket, up with the left hand.
I love the pace, taking it to the basket, using a Euro step to finish with his left hand.
He's a solid player. Knows his role, stays within himself. Concur.
Just like every single player on this roster, they're workers.
Well, when your best player, you know, when your best two players are defensive-minded guys that, you know, really want to shine on that side of the ball, it trickles down.
Yes.
I mean, you're hearing Lou Williams trying to guard Kawhi Leonard yesterday in practice. I'm not sure he was successful, but I like the effort. I mean, you see the group right there. This is a tough-minded group, and I don't know if you could find two better stars anywhere in the league other than Kawhi and Paul George that fit what the Clippers have done the last 2 years. It is a seamless transition, at least from our vantage point. Time will tell, but it feels like it's going to be very, very good.
I agree. And if you look at their roster, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Lou Williams, these are 3 possible guys that will be Hall of Famers at the end of their career. And how cool is that? Even for younger players to watch and to learn.
Great stroke by Porter Jr. and he knocks it in. You wonder, Corey, with how deep Denver is and how young they are, if they don't have that talent, do they take Michael Porter? It's kind of a flyer because of the injury. We don't know, and we're rooting for his success, or at least his health anyway. Do they take the chance on Michael Porter Jr.? He slipped all the way to 15 in the draft a year ago.
They took a chance on him then. I mean, from the injury from going in from college, they felt that they still can really build something with Michael Porter Jr. And now it's really just about establishing himself on the court and gaining more confidence and the trust from the coaching staff. That's the only way that Michael Porter Jr. will crack this lineup, because every single player from that roster last season played unbelievable.
Dozier with the foul. How about Porter Jr. with 12 points here, all in this fourth quarter.
Plays with confidence.
Now, that never seemed to be lacking in any of the interviews that I saw with him, and good for him. James Palmer. And that's Vanderbilt lays it in, count it, and a foul.
I love the patience, not just from the Denver Nuggets at this moment, but when you have transition play. Back when I played, the Euro step was just kind of really starting, I would say. But now players have more body control. When they're going full speed to the basket, we're able to change direction. I mean, James Harden is probably one of the best, and even before James Harden, in my era of play, Manu Ginobili he was unbelievable with the Euro step.
I feel like he was the one that brought it to the NBA. Who do you have before him?
I don't have anybody before.
I'm asking you. You can disagree.
No. I honestly think Manu Ginobili kind of really started the Euro step.
He was such a squirmy player in a complimentary way. Could just find the gaps and squeeze right through them. And so clever with, even though he's a southpaw, he was great with both hands.
He was a winner. Just unbelievable. He was a winner. In Europe, every single position that Manu was in, he was a winner.
Time will expire here in downtown Los Angeles. The Clippers on the wrong side of the scoreboard again. It's the preseason, and everybody will leave this game healthy. And the Clipper fans, well, it might not have been a win, but they are all leaving with a smile on their face. Kawhi Leonard makes his Clipper debut in the preseason and wastes no time. 7 points and 6 assists for Kawhi in 11 minutes. A great first half for the Clippers. It saw them lead by as many as 10, but go back to work tomorrow. They will take on Melbourne on Sunday afternoon, 12:30 tip time here from downtown Los Angeles, and then they head out of the road to Vancouver to close up the 5-game dress rehearsal. Things start for real on October 22nd. Good first half. That's what the Clippers, in my guess, will take away from this Corey Maggette. First 24 minutes, pretty solid.
Definitely solid just to see Kawhi Leonard back on the floor. And again, this team is still undermanned. No Patrick Beverley tonight, no Paul George. So right now, this is a chance just to establish yourself from a minute standpoint and trying to find chemistry with other players on the floor. But this is preseason. Like you said, this is a dress audition. This is not the real thing yet. You're building confidence, but it's not.
And we send it over to Jamie Maggio, standing by with Montrezl Harrell.
Brian, thank you very much. Trez, you led the team in scoring tonight, 15 points and 7 rebounds. The team looked like they were really in sync in the first half. What was working for you guys early?
Just moving the ball, really playing with one another. Just constantly kept the ball hopping all over the place so they couldn't catch up to it. We know what they like to do on the defensive end as far as like the low man. They like to rotate over him. So, I was just making the right play really and just finding guys all over the floor. But like I said, it's really just about moving the ball.
And then, of course, in the second half, they were able to pull away. What was the things that you guys need to work on there as you move forward?
When we go to the bench and, start to make those subs, guys got to keep that same mindset, keep that same pace, same energy, really. We still got to play the same way we did in the first half. I think it started to get stagnant and, guys started to try to find their shot, including myself. I had a lot on roll in and out, but at the same time, we really just lost that pace of the ball, hopping all over the place, really.
All right, Trez, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, back to you.
Jamie, thanks. Montrezl Harrell with a team high, 15 points, 7 rebounds as well. Clippers fall to the Denver Nuggets, but Clippers got to see Kawhi Leonard here tonight. Back with more.